wow. Even though this race was a little bit messy at the end of the race, it was still pretty good. So I'm guessing that the road courses might have lived up to the hype of the best season ever. And 2 good Daytona road course races in a row. I mean, you have the Clash, you have this race. Way better than last year's race. Woo! And we got a first-time winner. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 O'Reilly Auto Parts 253 at the Daytona Road Course. And man, this race was pretty good. You had Chase Elliott dominating the first half of the race, and then second half, you had like other drivers like Hamlin, Truex, Christopher Bell, and a couple others just come up. And then we have some drivers in the top 10 who overcame a lot. I mean, overcame a lot. So we're going to get to them once we review our top 10. We're going to rate the race. And we're going to be talking about the race as a whole at the end of this thing. So yeah, let us get us started. Finishing first was Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell ends up winning this race, getting his first career win and only his 38th Cup Series start and his third race in a Cup Series car on a road course. Wow, that's pretty cool. Did better than Chase Elliott. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into Chase Elliott. It really sucks for him. And I saw on Twitter and Instagram people are saying Choke Elliott has returned. We always see Chase Elliott be like that in the beginning, but really it wasn't really his fault. I mean, I believe at the end of towards the end of stage 2, Chase Elliott had that problem with the tire that could have been a penalty, but he lost a couple spots. Actually, yeah, and then in the third stage, he didn't have a good pit stop, and then he had some grass on the car. He saved it when Corey LaJoy got into him. In fact, he got some payback on Corey LaJoy, and then, he just got spun. Hamlin was trying to, fit in, and Elliott was trying to fill in a gap, and then just spun him around. But yeah, back to Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, it's just unbelievable, especially watching last night. Ty Gibbs, which I have to say, Ty Gibbs... He is it. He's the real deal. If there's 2 drivers who are in the Arca Menard series that are the real deal, Sam Mayer, Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs wins in his first career start in the NASCAR Xfinity series, and then Sam Mayer winning in what I think is 5th start in the Truck Series, and look, those 2 both beat champions. Freaking Sam Mayer, he beat the 2018 Truck Series champion Brett Moffitt back in Bristol last year. And then this year, you got Ty Gibbs beating the reigning series champion on the same track that he won in 2020. So that's really good. But yeah, back to Christopher Bell. It's just, he should just be very proud to be here. That's just unbelievable, be able to run in the Cup Series and stuff and winning in your 38th start. He is now locked into the playoffs. I got that part wrong, because now Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, both in the playoffs, and right now I got 2 wrong out of 16, so I can still get 14 right, because I think Michael McDowell might have replaced Bubba Wallace. I don't know, Bubba Wallace just hasn't been running that good. On road courses, but I think I need to check where he finished. I'll say that in the next clip. But yeah, him and maybe somebody else. But Christopher Bell, like I said, he was if I had to pick someone over Christopher Bell, it would have been Bubba Wallace. But Christopher Bell is now locked into the NASCAR playoffs. So congrats to Christopher Bell. Now let's move on to second place. Yeah, and I just checked Bubba Wallace's finish, 26. Oh man, that's disappointing. Still not even a top 20 in or on a road course. We still have six, maybe 5 or 6 left, so it's still a possibility. But now to Joey Logano, finishing second was Joey Logano. Like, we all knew he was trying to keep Christopher Bell behind him. Like, they gambled by staying out, and then, I'd say it really paid out, especially running those caution laps. Like, if you were up front and you're running those caution laps, you probably felt proud of yourself, but for Logano, I bet he just hates being like so close and just one lap away, and then and wasn't Christopher Bell catching him like a second a lap, and it wasn't like Logano didn't like blow any corners or anything. It was just Bell was just faster and stuff, and then Logano, they just got beat, plain and simple. Like, but they just got to get their long run speed faster. That's what I have to say. But they made some gains and gotten better with their Mustang. It's just they just got to be able to find a way to keep their rear tires on these things on the road course, especially we have five or six left in the season. And I heard that they have identified the issue now. They can like go back to work, so that's something that they could fix. But yeah. But yeah, Bell was definitely the one that got through with the tires, like, just with one more lap. Like, one more caution lap, that would have been enough to at least have a door-to-door finish across the finish line, maybe. But I don't know, it's hard for them. But yeah, Joey Logano, had, on the last lap, it was weird. It was weird. He didn't lead the last lap, but with 2 laps to go, in the Daytona Road Course today, he loses it to Christopher Bell, and then on the last lap of the 500 in turn 3 last week, he just threw a bad block at Keselowski, and that took them both out. So that really sucks. But hey, you just do what you got to do. And I'm really surprised Keselowski didn't like punch Logano in the face, because really, if I was Brad Keselowski, I would not care. I would have done that. But hey, it's just racing, but still a pretty decent day for Joey Logano as they're looking for their first win of the 2021 season. Finishing in third was Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, I have to say, they were the third best, to be honest, because, they won stage 2, and they won stage 2 in the 2020 race, and they finished second. But yeah, I don't know. I have to say Hamlin was like fourth best, because you have Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and somebody else. Truex, yeah, Truex. But yeah, I thought the 11 team, they were solid. Like, they were just trying to hold on to third or fourth fastest, and that's all they've got. But but for Hamlin, they just got to get a little bit better. Like, he has to keep, Hamlin just has to keep getting better to put themselves in position to win more races and stuff. Like, that's what I agree with. But yeah, Hamlin had a pretty decent race. They did have some issues that caused them to fall back. And then when he was falling back, I saw Kyle Busch like, wait, what? Kyle Busch made a heck of a return. I'm thinking, wait, where did Kyle Busch come from? He had that issue on the first lap, just like Michael McDowell. And then for some weird reason, Kyle Busch, he didn't even finish in the top 10. Heck, I don't even think he finished top 20. I have to check back and see. Yeah, just check. Kyle Busch finished in 35th. Because they showed something where Kyle Busch got into the wall and the caution didn't come out. He was like banging on the side of Chris Buescher. I was thinking, wait, what's going on? Why are you banging to the side of Chris Buescher? I think Kyle Busch was probably frustrated or mad or something when they were coming out of the second chicane going into the start-finish line or the trioval. I don't know what he was doing, but he just kind of wrecked himself. It's weird because Kyle Busch kind of did the same thing where he was like bumping in the like bubble walls back at Watkins Glen in 2019, and just Kyle Busch got the worst of it. I don't know what's been going on with Kyle Busch lately on these road courses. I mean, you had the Daytona road course; he was just awful, just awful. And then you had the Roval once again awful. Then you had the Roval in 2019 awful. Watkins Glen was probably... Actually, no, Watkins Glen, he was pretty bad. Sonoma in 2019 was probably the last time he did good on a road course, because Kyle Busch has had some bad luck recently on road courses, especially at the Roval and the Daytona road course. But, yeah, back to Denny Hamlin. They've had a pretty decent race, and, really, he's my pick to win next week at Homestead, because Denny Hamlin, if he wouldn't have had those issues in 2019, he'd be a champion right now. There, said and done. Now let's move on to the next spot. Finishing in fourth was Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch was probably the biggest comeback of the race. The biggest comeback. Because this guy, he was leading at one point, and then I think he got loose or hit one of the turtles or something, and then or one of the curbs, and he just went into the grass. I thought he was gonna run over onto the track, but he's able to stop, and he made all those contacts with the grass and the mud and stuff. Like, he spun out of control while leading, and then he fell from first to 27th, and then he comes back to finish in fourth. Like, what? How does that happen? Really? I wouldn't say that's a massive comeback because he didn't win the race. Like, so far, up to date, the biggest comeback I've seen in NASCAR history was when Chase Elliott won the 2019 Roval race, where he crashed, like, pretty, like, in mid-race, or I think it was, like, stage 2, or probably at the beginning of stage 3, and he just came back, wheeled that thing, and won the race. And then that was kind of how his dad, Bill Elliott, won that one Talladega race. He was just so fast, he just lapped himself back, and he got the win. So the Elliots can make some pretty good comebacks, even though people keep saying Chase Elliott chokes a lot, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, Kurt Busch, like, he just crossed over that finish line of grip in the car. Like it was there, but I just, Kurt Busch, he was just basically overdriving the thing. And, like, like, you have the Daytona road course, like, the tires at the track, and with the worn out asphalt in that infield section, it's really easy to step over the line. Like, really, I actually took a deep breath and just said, for Kurt Busch, before he spun, I was just thinking, all right, I feel like something's gonna mess up, and then he just pounded the curb and then shot him straight out, and I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I kind of called it. And because actually I thought it would be Kurt Busch, or probably most likely the second place car. I felt something was coming. I felt like the leader was just going to spin out, like how it happened in the Charlotte Rover race in the Xfinity Series. But yeah, Kurt Busch had a wild race, I just have to say that. And I don't know what else to say. I don't see him winning any races. He could on points or something. I don't know. He could win, or I don't know. But yeah, pretty roller coaster day for Kurt Busch and the one team. Finishing fifth was Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, another driver with a huge comeback, because we saw Brad Keselowski, he just had so many struggles throughout the race. He just kept like overdriving the chicane. He missed the bus stop a couple times. He got taken out by Kurt Busch, or spun out because he was loose or something, or he wasn't going full throttle. I don't know how they said it. And then he just worn out the tires because he was braking so much. And man, after seeing that, I was just thinking, man, I feel so bad for Brad Keselowski, because he had that Daytona 500 thing with his teammate, and now he has this. I was just thinking, oh my goodness, poor Brad Keselowski, just poor Brad Keselowski. Like, you had to feel for him, because I just could not believe it. It's like Kyle Busch has the bad luck at the Roval, and Keselowski has the bad luck at the Daytona road course. And Brad Keselowski, he hasn't won on a road course, and they said he finished second 3 times. The one time I remember him finishing second was 2012 when he lost to Marcus Ambrose on the final lap. But still, it was still a crazy race, nonetheless, for Brad Keselowski. And then they come back to win, not win it, but get a top 5 finish when they just stayed out. And then, like I said, when those cautions kept coming out, when Logano was in the lead, that just worked in their favors, worked all in their favor. So that was pretty cool for Keselowski to make a comeback like that. So I'm really proud of it. No complaints, because Brad Keselowski, in the Daytona road course last year, he got 13th after he made some mistakes and got some penalties. But yeah, Brad Keselowski, this was probably a big comeback for them, so that must feel good after having that heartbreaking Daytona 500 Turn 3 incident last week. So this is pretty good for Brad Keselowski, and yeah, we'll see what he can do in these next few races, trying to get a win. Finishing in 6th was Kevin Harvick. Nothing really to say for Kevin Harvick. He was just laying back. We saw all those bad luck things he had at the road course last year that ended up giving him, I don't know what place finish. And then you had that incident at the Busch Clash and stuff. So him just having a solid race, I bet he just gave himself a pat on the back. Because, wait, now I remember, he finished 17th at the Daytona road course last year. But yeah, Kevin Harvick, it was definitely just a regular old race for him. He was just did nothing. Wasn't that significant. Just got a top 10 finish, and there was a lot of chaos. They had Harvick and the team. Like I said, they had a pretty solid day, and they were a lot better than they were the last 2 times they were at the road course. They missed all they missed all the chaos, and they just finished the race. I bet their goal was just to score stage points, and they did that a couple times, and I bet they just wanted to finish in the top 10. Luckily, if they were lucky. And they were lucky because Harvick didn't have the Daytona road course curse this week. It was some other drivers. And they still managed to get a top 10 out of it. But yeah, they were able to finish in the top 10 and they did that. So I bet they're just going to leave and go home and say, alright, no complaints, no complaints, no complaints. So I bet that was pretty good for Kevin Harvick and the 4 team. And yeah, they had a pretty decent race. Finishing in 7th was A.J. Allmendinger. I know this is not an A.J. Allmendinger car, it's just a custom. But I don't have a cup car for college racing. But yeah, finishing in 7th was A.J. Allmendinger. They had a pretty solid race as well. They were up there at one point towards the end of the race. And actually, it was when they were trying to get the stage win, but Hamlin got it, because Hamlin was just faster and stuff. But yeah, A.J. Allmendinger had a pretty solid race. I bet Matt Collick was okay with that after that incident at the end of stage 1 in yesterday's race involving Austin Cindric and A.J. Allmendinger. And I think that kind of cost Austin Cindric if that wreck wouldn't have happened. But yeah, A.J. Allmendinger had a pretty decent race, and him running these part-time schedule road courses, I think that's actually going to help him a lot better, in some of these other races. If he runs the Xfinity race and the next day, he can take that experience and run in the Cup race. Not that much experience from yesterday when their race kind of ended a bit early. Well, they were still running, it's just that they weren't just that competitive because their car was ready for the dumpster. But yeah, they had a pretty decent race. I'm glad to see A.J. Allmendinger back in the Cup Series. It's really fun to see him, being the road course ringer he is, even though he only has 1 win. But still, it's nice to have A.J. Allmendinger around. He has a good personality. So yeah, finishing 7 was A.J. Allmendinger, and no complaints. They had a pretty decent race. I can't wait to see them when I think we're going to COTA next. So I can't wait for that race. Finishing in 8th was Michael McDowell. I know I don't have a Michael McDowell car, but yeah, Michael McDowell, another driver with a huge comeback. They had that incident on the first lap, just like Kyle Busch. They lost the tire, they locked the brakes and stuff, and then throughout the race, they're just coming back, and they got a 7th place finish. The Daytona 500 champion gets 2 back-to-back. Yeah, he just gets a back-to-back top 10 finish, so that's pretty good. And then Front Row Motorsports, I bet that was the first time they started on the front row in a good while. Probably the first time ever. For the first time in forever, and then they end up with the top 10, so I bet they're happy with that. But yeah, I bet that was just way too much excitement for Michael McDowell. I mean, their Mustang, their car was actually really good, I have to be honest. They had a flat tire, coming to the green. Yeah, I think they had it before the green flag started, so that must have sucked. McDowell said that he knew something was wrong, and really he should have just pitted if he knew something was wrong, because you don't want to risk it for the biscuit, because you could end up damaging your car more than it already has been. So yeah, he screwed that up, and that hurt them a little bit. But then they lost track position, and then they missed the chicane once, and then pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong today. But that is what their team's all about. Front Row Motorsports, I guess they just grinded out and fought hard, I guess, but they just kept the fight in it, and they ended up with another top 10, so that was pretty crazy how that all went down and stuff. But yeah, I bet it was just another great run, and yeah, I bet this momentum's going to go into Homestead, and when we go to Homestead, some guys are going to say, oh, Front Row Motorsports, running in the top 20, or probably top 25. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but that's kind of the honest truth of NASCAR. You just have to be honest, okay? You don't want to lie. You just got to be honest, but you don't also want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, yeah, Michael McDowell had a pretty decent run, and now some people who are just joining NASCAR now are just going to see how much Michael McDowell is gonna... I'm just not going to say it. Just cut it. Finishing in ninth was Ryan Preece. To be honest, Ryan Preece, just like Kevin Harvick, he had a quiet day too. Really, what I saw from Ryan Preece, that was probably the best road course car I've seen from JTG in a pretty good while. Probably since, I don't know, the last time Major Allmendinger had a good run. I would not say... Actually, probably in 2018. I don't know, but it was probably the best road course car Ryan Preece has ever had in his career. I mean, like, they struggled early in the race. Like, they needed a little bit more forward drive. That's what it looked like. And then, so I bet they just made some good adjustments. And they just came back and got a top 10. So really, pat on the back for Ryan Preece. That was a good comeback they made. 2 top 10s in a row for Ryan Preece. Don't see that very often, but hey, it can happen, especially with these super speedways and these road courses. It's a pretty big wild card to start off the season, because we're in Florida for like 4 weeks. You got a super speedway to kick off the season, got a road course the following week on the same racetrack, and then you head down south in the final week on a just regular speedway. So it is a pretty big wild card for the first 3 races of the season. So Ryan Preece, can he capitalize in Homestead? I don't know, because really, to be honest, I don't see some of these drivers who had a really great race do the same thing the next week because of the speedways, and you need a good car. So I don't know, but they could be lucky, so we'll see. But yeah, Ryan Preece definitely had a good car, and hats off to them. They did a great job. I bet we'll see this car probably, if it doesn't have damage on it or have much damage, they could probably use that same car for Coda, or they could just take the motor out of it and put in a fresh new car. So we'll see. But yeah, pretty decent job for Ryan Preece in the 3017. And finally, rounding up the top 10 and 10th, my boy Alex Bowman had a huge comeback. He was making his way through the field, and he had some damage running into the back of Austin Dillon, and he kind of fell back into like the 20s and stuff. He didn't get any stage points, still no stage points this season yet. But then he comes back to get a 10th place finish. I'm proud of Alex Bowman. I mean, it wasn't a great day for them, but they definitely held on, and they got an okay finish out of it. Like they were just like buried at the end, and Monster Truck the Turtle. That's what I saw, and really they're unforgiving. Like, bent something up a little bit and kind of had to fight through it, but really, I'm really proud of the Ally Racing team. They had a pretty decent race. Not the best, but okay race. And Bowman, I expected I have to say, I expected a little bit better from Alex Bowman, especially seeing that pretty decent run he had at the Daytona Road Course for the Busch Clash. And then, where did Bowman finish in the Busch Clash? I mean, not the Busch Clash, but in the regular race last year. I think he finished like 12th or something like that. I think it was 12th. But yeah, still pretty decent race for Alex Bowman in the 48 team. Sorry for my voice crack there. Oops. But yeah, they're gonna go to Homestead next week, and I see them doing pretty good on the regular speedways, but we'll see. But I still have Denny Hamlin winning the race, probably with the Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Hamlin, Busch, someone like that finishing in second. I don't know. But yeah, pretty decent race, or pretty okay race for Alex Bowman in the 48 team, getting their first top 10 of the best season ever. But yeah, this Daytona Road Course definitely brings up the hype for the best season ever in 2021. So I can't wait to see what Homestead has installed for next week. Now let's rate this race. This race was pretty good. Like it says in the title, it was entertaining, but a bit messy towards the end with a lot of the cautions coming out, and then he ends up with Christopher Bell hunting down Joey Logano. So to be honest, this was definitely so far out of 2021 the best race of the year. So far, we got 34 more races to go. Heck, we had 3 races. The Busch Clash was pretty good. Heck, the duels were better than the 500. But still, I had to rate this one. I don't know. The messy stuff kind of got a little bit too messy, a bit too sloppy at the end, and it was still a good race. So definitely above a 7.5% or 75 out of 100, however you say it. I'll give this race an 8.5 out of 10. It was a really decent race, so I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. And now, let's talk about this race as a whole. This race was really decent. Like I said, giving it an 8.5% out of 10. You did have, Kyle Busch and Michael McDowell having the struggles on the first lap. Ross Chastain did have some help from Blaney ending his day. Really, I'm just glad I did not see that bright red car, because when it was rolling down the pit road, it gave me some like McQueen vibes for a second, and that missing golden arch on the car. Oh my goodness. Really, I feel bad for Chastain, but I'm kind of glad that the car is not on the track. I don't hate it. It sounds like I do, but I don't hate it. I'm just disappointed that it's not the same as the one from 2020 or better or something. But yeah, after that, moving on, you do have towards the end, you got Chase Elliott basically dominating the half of the race. You got Hamlin coming in, winning a stage. And then you had Chase Elliott getting in the grass, make that incredible save. I mean, just look at it. But before we continue on with the video, I just want to point out that NASCAR and Fox, with that Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer skit going into the Fox booth, and they were taking those rental cars on the Daytona road course, and they were bumping and banging. That was a great segment, and that is something that I've just been waiting and wanting to see from Fox. A little bit more enthusiasm and something hysterical, like that Boyer and Gordon controversy and stuff. It's not really controversy, but it's like TV funny controversy. That's something we're looking for in NASCAR, like some entertainment, and having that go through even when the commercials were going through the broadcast and stuff. That was a really cool segment NASCAR did, and I hope that really continues throughout the year, what we see on Fox. Hopefully NBC can do something like that when they come around, because this will be their final year with NASCAR, with NBCSN, but we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out right quick. Now let's get back onto the video. Just a disclaimer, all the footage used in this video is owned by Fox and NASCAR, so I will have the name of, them in the description, just to let you know one more time, all the footage used in this video is owned by Fox and NASCAR. Now back onto the video. I mean, look at this save. Oh my gosh. I don't know how Chase Elliott saved that. I thought it was going to go around for a wreck, but he was able to save it. Just beautiful save by Chase Elliott. And wow, that was probably the save of the year so far. Let's see if Christopher Bell can put up a fight with that. And then we did have that Tyler Reddick catching on fire, hitting in the sign, and then you also had, Brad Keselowski once again getting dumped by Kurt Busch, and then Ty Dillon was also in the mix between that. I mean, let's talk about Ty Dillon for a second. Ty Dillon in, what equipment was it again? Oh yeah, Gaunt Brothers Racing Equipment. Explain this for me, guys. How does Ty Dillon in Gaunt Brothers Racing Equipment finish 19th, which is a top 20, something Bubba Wallace has not got in a better car? No hate on Bubba Wallace, but still, that's kind of embarrassing. So that means you got to get some things together, my friend. I'm supporting you, so come on, Bubba Wallace. And not only that, after that, you had, like I said, Kyle Busch. He was bumping and banging with Chris Buescher, and then Austin Dillon finished him off, just like how Bubba Wallace did back in 2019. And then Kyle Larson just pounded the wall. I mean, just pow and stuff. And then, I thought he could have won. Really, if Larson wouldn't have done, if he wasn't that aggressive, he actually could have won this race. But that was kind of on him being a bit too aggressive. And then Chase Elliott went around, and we already talked about Kurt Busch's incident. So, yeah, not really much to talk about. Well, actually, a lot to talk about. And then, 2 laps to go. Bell catches up to Logano, takes the win on 2 laps to go. But so yeah, that's about it for me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We are at 164 subscribers, trying to get to 200 by the end of the year, knowing how slow this channel is growing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love doing these videos for you, not just because of the subscribers, but I just love doing it for you guys, making content. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time at Homestead. Maybe I'll have a review up in a couple days. Maybe, maybe not. You'll just have to find out. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.